Imagine this. You wake up and you are truly hungry. But hungry 3.2 million years ago? That's a completely different feeling. This isn't about walking to the kitchen for a snack. This is the world of Homo Habilis. Our ancestors. They aren't the top of the food chain, not even close. They are small, they are smart, and they are constantly watching. Every sound is a threat, every shadow a potential end. Their entire day is focused on one thing: finding food without becoming food. On this day, the small group is desperate. They're moving through the tall, dry grass, looking for anything: roots, leftover scraps, maybe a small lizard. The leader, an older male, stops. He holds up a hand. The group freezes. He senses something, not a sound, a smell. It's the coppery, thick smell of blood. That means a kill. And a kill means a killer is nearby, but it also means meat. He signals. They move, not as a group, but spread out, using the sparse bushes for cover. Every step is silent. They crawl the last few meters to the top of a small ridge. They look down, and their hearts stop. There it is, a fresh kill, a small antelope, torn open. But standing over it is a nightmare. This isn't a lion, it's not a hyena. It's the giant saber-tusked boar, a Kubanochoerus, a beast the size of a modern rhino. An armored tank of pure muscle and rage, with tusks that could rip through, well, anything. And it is not happy about being interrupted. The Habilis are frozen. This isn't a hunt. It's a no-go. The risk is too high. The leader signals to pull back, slowly, quietly. But it's too late. A younger Habilis, his foot clumsy, snaps a dry twig. The sound cracks through the air like a gunshot. The giant boar's head snaps up. It stares directly at the ridge. A low, terrifying growl rumbles from its chest. It knows they are there. The leader screams. Not a word, just a sound. Run. This isn't a retreat. It's a rout. The Habilis scatter, exploding from the ridgeline. The boar bellows, a sound of pure fury, and charges. The ground shakes. This thing is faster than it looks. It locks onto the one who made the sound, the young young clumsy one. The young Habilis is fast, but the boar is gaining. He's running in pure terror, zigzagging through the low bushes. He's not going to make it. But the Habilis, they have a secret weapon. They aren't strong, but they are a team. And more importantly, they are using their minds. The leader looks at the two others who ran with him. He points at the boar, then points at the rocks. He doesn't need words. The plan is formed in an instant. They don't fight it head on. That's suicide. They use the terrain. They split up. The leader shouts, a high-pitched cry to get the beast's attention. The giant boar, just meters from the young Habilis, skids to a halt. It's confused. A new, louder threat. It turns its massive head toward the sound. The leader hurls his rock. It's a perfect shot, striking the boar hard on its thick armored flank. It roars in pain and rage. Now it's furious. It forgets the young one, who scrambles away into the bushes. The boar has a new target. It turns and charges straight up the rocky ridge. The other two Habilis throw their rocks, striking its head and shoulders. The boar is a force of nature, shrugging off the blows, focused only on the kill. The leader doesn't wait. He and his team turn and run, disappearing over the crest of the ridge. They are luring the monster away. The boar, blinded by rage, thunders after them, crashing through the rocks and bushes. It's completely fallen for the trap. But what about the fourth Habilis? The one who ran in a different direction at the very beginning? The fastest and quietest of the group? This was the plan all along. This is the reality of 3.2 million years ago. You don't win by fighting the monster. You win by being smart enough to steal its lunch while it's trying to kill your friends. It's a heist, prehistoric style. They don't have stone tools to cut. They have to use their hands, their teeth, twisting and tearing at the prize. It's a race against time. Meanwhile, miles away, the leader and his team are playing a deadly game of cat and mouse, leading the boar on a pointless chase. They are faster, more agile. They know the terrain. The boar is just a mountain of angry muscle. It's intelligence versus brute force. Back at the clearing, the fourth Habilis finally rips a heavy leg and shoulder section free from the carcass. It's more than they've eaten in a week. In the distance, a roar. The boar is giving up. It's realized it's been tricked. It's coming back. Time is up. The fourth Habilis doesn't hesitate. They hoist the meat and sprint, not toward their friends, but toward the hidden cave, the rendezvous point. The decoy team, their job done, melts into the landscape. They move in parallel, a silent, invisible network, all heading for home. Minutes later, the giant boar thunders back into the clearing. It stops. It sniffs the air. It looks at its mangled carcass. A portion of its food is gone. The tiny, weak creatures have outsmarted it. It lets out a final, frustrated bellow. But it's too late. They're gone. Much later, as the sun bleeds red across the horizon, the group reconvenes. They meet inside a small dark cave hidden behind a waterfall of vines. The fourth Habilis is already there, the meat placed on a flat stone. The others file in, exhausted, bruised, but alive. The leader nods to the young one, who snapped the twig. It's not a scolding, it's a "you're alive, you learned" look. The young one nods, still shaking. They won't make fire. The smoke is a beacon for predators. They will eat the meat raw. It's tough, but it is protein. It is life. This is the dance, a dance with death, performed for a few scraps of meat. A dance they perform every single day. The giant boar won the battle. It's bigger, stronger, and kept most of its kill. But the Habilis, they won the war because they survived. This moment, this is where the human story truly begins. Not with strength, but with cunning, with teamwork, with the ability to make a plan. That boar is an evolutionary dead end, a marvel of strength, but it cannot adapt. It's brute force in a changing world. But this small, weak, terrified creature, this is the future. This is the mind that will one day build cities and walk on the moon. It all started here. In the dirt, in the fear, with a hungry stomach and a brain that was just learning how to think its way out of trouble. They outsmarted a creature 10 times their size. Not with muscle, but with a cooperative strategy, a diversion, a heist. Tonight they are safe. Their bellies are, for the first time in days, not empty. But tomorrow, the hunt begins again. New monsters, new challenges. But they have their intelligence, and they have each other. And in this world, that was the only advantage that mattered. In the evolutionary arms race, the Habilis bet everything on their mind. And it was the single greatest bet in the history of life on Earth. This wasn't just survival. This was the birth of us. The first sparks of the ingenuity that would come to define humanity. A 3.2 million-year-old story. written in blood, hunger, and intelligence. The story of how we learned to stop being prey and start fighting back. The story of survival. The story of us.